I just can't believe they weren't filming the show. It's like the one thing I want to see is like this and behind the scenes of this crazy wedding and all of this faux opulence. And there are no cameras. We have to talk about Kourtney and Travis's wedding. Over last weekend, they got married in Positano, Italy, in one of the most lavish weddings I think the world has ever seen. There was a welcome dinner on Friday, a pre-wedding yacht hang, just the normal things. And the ceremony itself, which everyone took boats to. Dolce & Gabbana sponsored the castle, sponsored the looks for everybody, bridegroom, every family, kids. I mean, just everything. The pillows that were around, the fabrics, the sweatsuits the next day. And I was reading today that there was a digital media advertising specialist that said that Dolce & Gabbana raked in about $25 million in what would have been online advertising for sponsoring this wedding because of how many eyes saw all of the posts. Now, I know. So what stood out to you from the wedding of the last 10 years? I mean, it was a lot.
I mean, here's the thing. First of all, these two, by the third wedding, like, does anybody really care? This is why they had to do this over the top media integration, basically.
Yeah.
Now, things that I really liked that the pieces were archival. A lot of the pieces that were worn were from the late 90s. I mean, this is Y2K inspiration and what everybody is wearing now. And it kind of a great message about denouncing fast fashion. And if you're going to wear Y2K fashion, go vintage. Don't support fast fashion. However, Dolce & Gabbana, they have been very outspokenly homophobic, racist. They have really put their foot in their mouth a bunch of times. And I feel like they spent a bunch of money for the Kardashians to basically be sponsored to put themselves back on the map in a new way.
Gwen, I think you're also forgetting their most iconic Instagram comment where Mr. Gabbana, not Dolce, commented under a picture of the Kardashians and said that they were, quote, the cheapest family in America.
Yes, that too. So I just found it all to be in exceptionally poor taste. It just similarly, and I still can't get over this story, so I'm sorry, guys, that I'm still talking about it. But similarly to how Kim dressed up as Marilyn Monroe and Kris Jenner dressed up as Jacqueline Onassis, this was in similarly poor taste, if not even more poor taste. That said, I really did like the black dress from the first night of the festivities.
I did too. It was my favorite.
I absolutely adored for the actual wedding ceremony, Kourtney's veil, which had that giant Virgin Mary motif, which was inspired by the tattoo on the top of Travis's skull.
Yeah.
But the dress was like, come on, like really lingerie, like this is what I wore to the beach in the 90s. Like, come on, this is not something that a bride wears. And I really liked what Travis wore all of the night. I really have been loving what he's been pulling out. But I just thought that, and Travis and I think you and I had side conversations on the gram all weekend long.
Yeah.
Like, everything looked so cheap. It looked like the seams were going to come apart. It just looked. It did not look
a little H&M-y on some of the kids too.
Shine, like Fashion Nova.
Yeah.
And the whole thing just sort of hurt my heart a little bit. I love Portofino. I love the Amalfi Coast towns. Like it just was a little too, and I don't really understand the messaging other than people make money here.
It was money.
I like is that, please lean into vintage and away from fast fashion, but these people made archival vintage fashion look like fast fashion. Ew.
I was just going to say, I liked how Kendall walked up the stairs. Sarah, what did you like about the wedding?
I thought it was honestly the worst dressed bride and wedding guest that I've ever seen in my entire life. I didn't like anyone's outfits, and I don't know much about fashion, but I thought everyone looked really weird and didn't go together. And like, why was Khloe wearing a crown? And why is Kourtney like wearing tighter, smaller dresses than she ever has? It's just not, it was not classy at all. And I thought it was strange. And I also just wonder, like, when and if this relationship does not work, like, does she start wearing not black again? Like she literally just changed her entire personality as far as fashion wise with Travis Barker.
This is what she's done through this entire relationship. She has completely morphed into him.
Exactly.
From the first week that they were dating.
Insanity.
Does she have a personality? Does she have her own identity? And she's a mother of several.
And watching the Kardashians now, you see Kim like going through this like identity crisis because she let Kanye do the same thing to her.
Yeah.
So I just feel like we're about to see the same thing again. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But my biggest takeaways, besides that it hurt my eyes, was who wasn't there? Rob didn't make the trip. We know that he's camera shy to some degree, but kind of interesting. It's his big sister's wedding. I know it's the third, but he wasn't at any of them. Obviously, Scott didn't expect that, but it was interesting. You know, he was at a strip club in Scott fashion.
Yeah.
Corey Gamble, not there with Chris.
Yeah.
We've heard that doesn't mean they're broken up.
Yeah.
And Devin Booker being the only significant other. Obviously, Pete Davidson was doing his final episode of SNL, so I get it. And Tristan and Khloe are no longer together. But what about Travis Scott? Like, I just think Devin Booker, of all people, we probably see him the least interacting with the family. And I guess they weren't filming the show because I know Kendall refuses to have Devin on it. So maybe that's why he was there. But I thought it was really interesting to see who did and didn't make the cut.
I just can't believe they weren't filming the show. It's like the one thing I want to see is like this and behind the scenes of this crazy wedding and all of this faux opulence, and there are no cameras.
I know. I mean, maybe they're going to be like home video footage or something, but I didn't see cameras. And I also feel like, I know that Kendall like doesn't want Devin on the show. So the fact that he was there made me feel like it's not going to be a big thing. But I did like Alabama Barker, like was doing the Lord's work. Like, she kept going live on TikTok, on Instagram, switching platforms. That's how we got a lot of our content. You know, I heard the family saying all the small things. Like, that's nice.
Yeah, that was cute.
I think that there is no Dolce & Gabbana suit that fits Corey Gamble. So they were like, listen, you gotta stay home.
We can't dress you.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is, everyone, is that it's over. The wedding is over. So we're hoping that she's drinking everything she needs to drink to get pregnant so they can start the next phase of their life.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina Garibaldi, the host of Us Weekly Celebrity Coverage. Don't forget to hit subscribe for the latest celebrity news, tips, and video. And for much more content, make sure you head on over to usmagazine.com, the official home of Us Weekly magazine.